Hi, it's late at night. Just want to have a little chat with you about what's going on with me, with my stuff. Um, so I've been working on this show for, it goes back a full year. The show, The Quest for the Fairy Tale Monster. Originally, the idea came from my design partner here, Laurel, here in Cascade Locks. She wanted to do a melodrama. And so I started writing a script for melodrama, and the idea was to have a show that tourists who pass through town would actually stay longer in town to watch the melodrama, and then maybe they'd stay to have a meal, or maybe even they'd wind up spending the night. But it would be something that would keep people here longer than just stopping by to use the bathroom, which is the number one attraction to going to Cascade Locks. Anyway, and I mean, yeah, there are a lot of other attractions. We have a lot of weddings here. We have a lot of events and festivals and so forth. But whatever, just for the people driving on the highway. So then I started looking at the costs of doing a melodrama, and we would need to be paying actors, good actors, actors coming in from Portland, and they'd have to be paid a fair rate in order to do this. And I'd worked on another entertainment venue for a couple of years, also here in the Gorge. And the issue is that actors are busy and they aren't always able to make every gig that's out here. And so you wind up double casting, and somebody might get sick, or all these other things come along. So the deal with doing a melodrama is there was going to be really high overhead in order to make it work, with just like 5 actors. So then Laurel suggested that I just do the show as a one-person show. And so I completely threw out what I'd written. I threw out the ideas that I had for this melodrama, because the melodrama was going to be about jokes that were like inside jokes about the town and so forth. And instead, I came up with this name of Professor Sylvester Silverstash. The mustache, because I got the mustache. I grew out the mustache for this role. I'm getting all kinds of compliments on the mustache, by the way, and so I'm recognizing that this is a thing, and so the mustache is like becoming a part of the show. Anyway, yeah, and so I created an entirely different and new show based on the idea that there is a monster that lives in the river, kind of like the Loch Ness Monster over there in Scotland. And that this professor is in a pursuit of the monster to try to find the monster to get the reward money for capturing the monster. Anyway, so I've written this whole show, and the show is historical fiction. The show takes place in 1905, and back in 1905 here in Cascade Locks, there were 133,000 people who came here that summer on riverboats, on paddle steam wheelers, in order to see the actual locks, which is a series of locks allowing paddle wheel ships to go further upriver. And it was a big, big attraction because there was a big exposition in Portland based on Lewis and Clark, who had been here 100 years before that. Anyway, so I've written the show, and I've got a place to perform the show. It's a new venue in town. It's a restaurant. They're completely redoing their whole backyard area and building a stage so that I can perform this show on their stage for their customers, with the idea that I'll be bringing in more people to have lunches, to stay for dinner, to just get drinks. It's a place called Whiskey Flats Tavern, and that the tavern itself has got quite a history in town, which I'll tell you about some other time. So I'm at the stage where I've written the script, and I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know if the show's going to work. It's all the apprehensions that probably every performer goes through, or every writer goes through, when you're creating this new material, and you just don't know exactly how it's going to play. Some of the material in the show I've actually been testing out and trying. Some of the material I borrowed from a previous gig that I did, A little bit of the material I borrowed from a previous gig where I wrote the material again, also for that gig. I just transferred it over to this one. So I know that that works. And I love the script. And this is this is the hard part. It's like, I love this script. I absolutely love it. And I'm scared shitless that it's not going to go over with audiences. And the only way that I'm going to know the answer to that will be this April when I finally get to perform it. So in the meantime, I'm doing all this work preparing and building this Vardo, this wagon, which is this very complex, complicated piece of machinery and art. It's a beautiful piece of art, basically, that will be part of the show. So that's what's going on with me. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And thank you for telling other people about this show and any assistance that you can offer me so that I can get the thing up and going. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Yeah, I hope you have a good night. I'll talk to you later.